everyone! So today we are going to be sharing a little haul of our Christmas gifts with you guys. So our family doesn't really exchange Christmas gifts formally. I mean, like the little kids in the family will get Christmas gifts, but we have a relative who since 2013 has always picked us out each a boxed Barbie. If you guys have been watching our channel for a while, then you would have seen them in the past years in 2016 and 2017. And he also found us like some of our used dolls from the beginning of the year, like Brad and Jen from the video Heroic Rescue. So he always spends a lot of time picking us out each like a special boxed doll, and he picks them really well. He always manages to find ones that either we don't have or like are really special ones. So they've all come from the same online seller, he was telling us, which is really cool. So each
I didn't know that till last night.
each of the ones that we've gotten since 2013 have come from like the same person. And these two are probably the best ones so far.
Definitely.
So the one I opened is 1986 My First Barbie, and as you can see, she's the African American version. I have the blonde of her, but my blonde is
we think. I didn't realize that till when Shelly said something this morning.
And she is really, really gorgeous. And then Colleen opened
Great Shape
from 1983.
This is like one of the most iconic Barbie stuff.
And I don't think like Ray knows that I specifically collect African American dolls, and he didn't know that the 80s is my favorite decade, which
I mean, we've good luck getting box ones from the 90s because I feel like a lot of people bought like overstock to try to resell like our A Pet Doctor, and like we have a lot like that.
But we don't
But not from the early 80s.
I have two dolls from like, you know, African American Barbies from like the 80s and before. One is Ballerina Cara from 76, and the other is my Day to Night Barbie, who was in my reroute tutorial. And that doll was in terrible shape. I mean, that's why I had to reroute her, because her hair was all burned. So
you couldn't tell now because we made her with her original outfit, and she's got that. She is like the nicest hair now.
It is very difficult to find these African American Barbies from like the 80s and earlier. I mean, like you can find them online, but they cost a lot of money, and that's why. I mean, I only have one I found in the wilds because Cara came from eBay from many moons ago, and it was like $30.
And they were probably a little bit cheaper back then too.
Yeah, because more people who grew up in the 80s now have the disposable income to like buy back their childhood dolls. So these are really cool, and we are going to open them and show you guys them after they get baths, because they've been in the boxes where like she's not even tagged down anymore. So you
and I see her little hair elastics have popped.
Yeah, and we do open all our dolls if you're wondering.
She is beautiful.
But I'm gonna be using the backs of the boxes for things in the future because these are really awesome. So I am so excited to have them. But we have one more thing.
So my favorite thing. So I spent about, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 hours making Shelly a photo collage for Christmas. I thought I was the best sister in the world. And I was saving it for Christmas Day. Like I was going to put it out on Christmas Eve after she'd gone to bed. But instead what happened is this major plot twist. She gets up before me in the morning, and Christmas Eve day, I come into the kitchen, it's this ginormous box on the island, and I'm like,
I'm the master of keeping secrets.
I know, and I couldn't. She saw me with a poster board that I like brought home from work, and she's like, "What's that for?" And I was like, "It's do your impression. It's really funny."
Oh, it's for work. Like you have that smile on your face.
I can't lie. So it's really funny. So I walk in, and I mean, it was the thing I've coveted most. Like I like. You know, I may have lied on my babysitter's ink skipper and said that you know, she made me covet other things less, but that's not the truth of all. There's one thing that I have coveted, like sinfully coveted, since I knew of its existence, and I didn't think I'd be able to get it.
And it's not in the thumbnail.
It's Molly! Beforever Molly! Her locket's been around the wrong way. Oh my god, I'm so excited because like, Molly has been in my life since 1990, probably 1995, or no, 1996, been like the spring before I even had my doll. I wanted one badly, so she was like kind of like a revamp of the Christmas Miracle, you know, that doll that we didn't have the money for, and that I really, really wanted, like sinfully wanted. and that I've actually like started to give up hope that I would ever get, and she is just so beautiful.
You know, a lot of people were asking if Colleen was gonna get this doll.
And I felt like, well, I wish, but I can't. And she's just like, I mean, she's just absolutely gorgeous. I saw, I first learned of her existence by accident. I was at Barnes & Noble looking for a book, and I saw the mini doll. Can you retie that ribbon? I saw the mini doll, and I fell in love with the meat outfit. I'm like, oh my god, Molly's coming back for Beforever. And at first I was like, oh, well, I don't really need, I mean, I would love another Molly, like, especially like a revamped Molly. She probably has the feathered eyebrows, which she does. And I was like, I don't really need one though, but I will definitely buy the outfit when it hits the store website. But then when I found out the outfit wasn't going to be on the store website, she was store exclusive, and she came in a special, like, Costco set, and...
Costco. It's not Costco.
Have I been saying it wrong the entire time?
It's Costco.
That's embarrassing. So, I've been like, it suddenly made, like, normally when something becomes unobtainable to us, like the 2018 Bratz, for example, it just, like, cools the, like, the doll less because we like the shelf warmers. Yeah. But in this case, for some reason, it amped up the, like, the covetous, green, envious monster in me. And I wanted her so bad.
I knew she did.
And, yeah, and she somehow ordered her, hid the doll under her bed, wrapped her up, all while I was at work.
There's a clip of it in Dolly Diaries coming up.
And, yeah, she is, like, absolutely beautiful. And
no way!
ooh.
Paper stuff.
I got my very first Barbie, who was my first Barbie, like this one, but from '89. She came with a crap ton of adorable paper stuff that I actually still remember seeing. My mom threw it away right in front of me. And to this day, that's what I think about when I see paper stuff.
That's weird. She's not supposed to have earrings, but one of her ears is actually punched.
That's so weird.
So we have washed and opened up the dolls, and you can see how nice their hair turned out, and luckily neither of them have sticky hair or sticky face, because that's a pretty common problem with dolls that have been boxed this long. And look at this doll's ringlets. Fabuloso. That's why I'm really a big believer in boil washing all dolls, because it just makes a difference even in the like brand new ones. And I also washed their bodies because of their age. I didn't use baking soda, but I used dish soap because they had some caca. So here's an up close look at Molly. So
she is so lovely. So I wanted to take a couple minutes to like talk about how much I love this doll. This might be my favorite outfit they've ever made for Molly. Like if you look at the illustrations, I wish I'd thought to bring up my book, in like the old Happy Birthday Molly story and stuff. These are like the kind of clothes she wore. So whereas I feel like Samantha's Beforever look looked less like what I would traditionally think of for Samantha, this was spot on for like old school Molly. And I love like the pleats in this, and I love these decorative buttons, but I really like, I know that it's like chinsier, that it's not as thick and it doesn't pull over her head like the original sweater, but it's so much easier because it doesn't mess up her hair. And it's like better because you're not going to stretch a sweater pulling over the doll's big head or keep messing up the doll's hair. So I just think that's more practical. I love the saddle shoes. Again, it's the kind of thing I always dressed my Molly in growing up. This is like the kind of meat outfit I would have designed for Molly as a kid. I really love it.
Plus she's got the good underwear.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to talk about. They're like kind of like the ones in my old school Molly's undies set, but not as high-waisted.
Not attached to her body.
They're easier to put under clothes, because the trouble with the old bloomers is that in a skirt like this they were fine, but like she's wearing old school bloomers under the pajamas, and I got it on. It's not a huge problem, but in certain things like the pants to my aviator outfit, it's a pain. So I usually have to rummage and grab the Molly's underwear undies instead of the bloomers. So it's nice that I have a second pair kind of on that idea.
And then her locket doesn't open.
Yep.
But the closures are a lot easier.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to use the locket. It is kind of sad that it doesn't open, but I also like these nice meat ribbons, and I love that the glasses are a different color. I think it's very creative.
And then the bangs on her. So do you see, first of all, do you see the difference in the shininess? The type of Kanekalon they used to use back in the 90s and like 80s was way less shiny. This stuff like holds its shine and glossiness. And you can see her bangs are right at the front of her head, whereas this Molly's go way further back.
So it means that this Molly has more hair on her head. These pajamas, I really, really enjoy them. I like them more than the floral pajamas from 2013-ish because I think the color scheme is more like Molly, and I also think the letter print is so cute.
And the buttons really work on this.
Which is actually kind of rare for like the time frame, like for nowadays you don't see that much. And I also like these slippers because I feel like they stay on a lot better than the floral pajama slippers. And obviously it fits my old doll.
Yep, even though a lot of people seem to think that like the new dolls and the old dolls can't share clothes. I think that the problem with the old dolls, so the dolls from like the 90s have squishy vinyl rubber. I don't know if you'll be able to film it. It's very like squishy and soft, and that gives it more friction when you go to put on shoes or clothes, anything tight. So it's almost like you're getting that like fight when you go to put it on.
Yeah, 2 of my 3 Mollys that are like Pleasant Company or Pleasant Company stock have that problem when I pull on their shoes, so 2 of their shoes have actually broken.
It also makes them easier to rip tights for that reason, whereas the new dolls are made of a smooth, hard plastic that has no give. And also, I noticed that the old dolls, they kind of swell up more depending on the temperature around them. Like their like vinyl is a bit more like prone to the effects of like the environment.
Oh, and I mean every doll is painted a little differently, but I noticed that this doll has like her eyes are really symmetrical and she has beautiful like lip paint.
I couldn't even see the details of her face in the listing, but I knew you wouldn't care either way.
No, I
could have been
wouldn't care.
wonky.
A lot of people say that her eyes look really different, but
Do you want me to get O4?
yeah, because I feel like she looks very similar to her. So this is my Molly that my dad bought me in 2004 for Christmas, and this is obviously Beforever Molly.
I mean, honestly, from a visual look, the only difference I'm seeing is that her eyes are slightly darker.
Yeah, they're very similar.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, this isn't a very great comparison, but, like, the original eyes were really light, and you can see they were prone to silvering. Oh, also noted, with the middle-aged glasses from '04, they tend to cause a yellow cast on the dolls' faces, but the new ones over here don't. So those are actually nicer. And those are plastic, not metal, which is kind of a downer, but at least they don't rust out, because the old ones can. Personally, I think it would have been cooler if they put like either a real coin or a hanky or something instead of
the dollar bills.
But this bag's pretty much the same.
It's basically the same bag. I mean, the stitching is super similar. Everything about like
it
the
feels
stitching
a bit
here.
thicker.
It does feel like puffier almost.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's new. But the main difference I'm seeing is just this Velcro instead of a snap, which personally I prefer the snap closure. I mean, I'm glad this looks distinctly different, so I can't mix it up with any of my other ones because it's otherwise so similar it would be easy to mix up. Feels pretty much like most of my other Molly braids in a different color.
And then you got a free book too.
Yeah, so this is the one that came with the set, but then there was a insert inside that said a free, like a coupon for a free second book.
Yeah, they shipped it for free too. So
it's like the second volume. I'm really excited about it.
There aren't pictures in these.
No, and that's my only thing I have to complain about with the Beforever books is I really do love how they have more in a book because, you know, I read them so fast now that it's like pointless for me to sit with like a skinny one. But I do really miss the pictures. Yep. Oh, and that's the best part is that I get a free book.
These were like, I think they retailed for $115 or $120 at Costco.
That's the other thing I wanted to say is that I think it's a shame they only sold this set at Costco because I think as a marketing strategy it would have done them better to sell it if they were going to do a store exclusive at their own store because they'd be bringing more business to their own store.
To do like a girl of the year kind of thing where she was only available for a year.
Yeah, or to have sold her only online. You know, there's a way they could have made her exclusive without making her that limited. because it really doesn't do them any good for people to be going to Costco when...
Because I would have loved to have supported them with the money and paid American Girl directly and voted with my dollar, but because I don't live near Costco and we don't have a membership,
Right.
I had to go from basically someone who bought it just to resell.
But the nice thing about it being such a cheap set in the first place, I mean, it was a very cheap retail.
For what you
considering
bought.
it came with
Accessories
and the pajamas. Like, because even after Shelly bought her online and had to, like, basically buy up from someone who bought it to resell, Shelly still got probably as good or better a deal than we got buying Ivy and her her New Year outfit from American Girl.
So Colleen knows what I paid because, of course, we're doll collectors and she was interested. So I paid exactly $169 for Molly, and that was like with free shipping. And the way I decided how much I was going to pay was I always break it down by what this would have retailed for, like separately. So the Beforever dolls are about $115, so that's $115. The accessories are about like 20-ish. However, you can get the doll and the accessories, I believe, for like $120 or $125, so we'll call it like $125. The pajamas would have retailed for $28, so we'll round up to $30 for the sake of argument. So we're at $125 plus the $30 pajamas, that's $155. Now, there's a window of $14. The shipping to have this doll shipped to our house, because we don't live really near a store, plus taxes, would have been more than $14. So that's exactly how I equated what I paid, if you're wondering, because some people paid over $200 and some people got lucky and like there were a few people who got it for like $120 on bid, but most people paid about what I paid or more. So that's how I figured it out. That's my recommendation if you ever want to like figure out price points. Oh, and also Molly does have like a slightly thinner body and no body strings. She has a zip tie instead.
But the only reason I would find that to be a problem is if we were trying to restring
But you
her.
can just put a new zip tie in.
Yeah.
It won't fray, it won't catch the clothes, it looks better. You don't have it bulky.
Exactly.
And as far as the torso goes, it's like a negligible difference.
And she's, I mean, to me, her limbs seem absolutely fine, so...
Yeah, she's tight.
There will be no reason, because now I'm an adult and I'm not going to do the crazy things I did with my old Molly with her. She's not going to need to be restrung, so it's a moot point.
So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you enjoyed seeing the 80s Barbies in all their glory. And there will be pictures of this stuff on Flickr. We're kind of behind on Flickr stuff. So,
Which is funny, because I feel like most of my time has been spent working
I know,
on
and
Flickr.
I'm reformatting things on Flickr, so, like, these dolls are going to be pictured separately from their Caucasian counterparts, etc. So, until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.